Well, yet another story about how our recycling systems seem to be failing us. Nearly half of the city's boroughs are not recycling glass that is being thrown into our recycling bins. 20,000 tons of glass that is collected by Racova, the company that takes care of the sorting center in the Saint Michel borough, is 20,000 tons is being grounded to powder and thrown into landfill instead of being recycled. The city is planning to close the center in 2024 once its contract ends with Racova. New center is going to be created in the eastern part of the city. But experts say the answer to this problem is to modernize the way they separate the recycling. But the city's planned program to do so has been delayed until 2025. Let's talk a bit more about recycling with Karel Menard, General Director of the Quebec Common Front for Ecological Waste Management. Karel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Elias.
So it just seems like, if I had a dime for every time I saw a story about how our recycling is not being done properly, I'd have a bit of money. I wouldn't be a millionaire, but I have a bit of money. It's very discouraging for me, as someone that every Thursday where I live puts out the recycling bin. I often wonder, why am I doing this? What do you say, Karel? What are your thoughts?
I say I'm sad to hear that because you're not the only one who thinks like that. Most of the people, when they hear stories like that, they are discouraged, and I understand them. But there are solutions, and that's why we exist. I've been working in the environment for more than 25 years, and the solutions are there. But it takes a long time to have them apply, and there are a lot of lobbies against these solutions because it looks like not everybody, but industries, producers, and sometimes government are satisfied with the solution, the situation right now. And it's very hard to have them moved towards solution as, for instance, a deposit system. It should have been enforced on November 1st of this year, and now it is postponed for 1 year and a half more. So a bit discouraging for me sometime as well.
So who's pushing back? You mentioned the lobbying that's going on to sort of delay things like the deposit system for wine bottles, let's say. Who's doing the pushing here?
People who put on the market wine and spirit bottle. They say it's very difficult to have a deposit system enforced because of the infrastructures are not there. The glass is very heavy, and they say the curbside collection now does the job. And actually, no, it doesn't do the job as you saw. And in sorting centers as well, because they get paid for what comes into the sorting center, their facilities. So the glass is very heavy. Not a lot of glass compared to cardboard or paper, but it's one of the heaviest material coming inside the sorting center, and the sorting center are paid for what's coming in their facilities. So, and they get paid for the glass. So, sorting centers sometimes are against solutions as well because for them it's a way of making money.
So can we just talk about that, the weight of glass, right? This is a heavy material. When you want to transport heavy items, you got to pay for it environmentally somehow, right? Like, you require fuel to move around heavy things, right? And I'll say for my own personal experience, like when it comes to beer, I won't buy beer bottles anymore. I've learned my lesson. It's all cans for me because it's lighter, it's easier to transport, and I know there is a system, right, to reuse those beer bottles, right? And sometimes I'm like, am I doing the right thing here? So let's talk about the weight, and if that is just something that isn't solvable without spending so much money to transport that glass.
Yeah, but for instance, you said the beer bottle. The beer bottle is the best way, the glass beer bottle, when you reuse them, because it costs less in energy to make new bottles. That's the beauty of the glass. It can be recycled as long as you wish. Mm-hmm. But when you collect it through the curbside collection, the glass cannot be recycled into glass. The only thing you can do with it is either send it into a landfill, not as waste, but as landfill recovery, which is a polite way to say we ship glass into the landfill, but it is not landfill, so it's very strange. Or you can do downcycling, exactly what's going on with the Sandeterie Lachine. So the glass is transformed into sandblast, but not used as glass. And the funny thing, I wouldn't say the funny thing, but the thing which is paradoxal is that in Montreal we have the biggest plant of glass in east side of North America, in Pointe-Saint-Charles, Owens, Illinois. This company imports glass from provinces or states where there is a deposit system, because they want glass from a recovery system, but the only way to have good glass without contamination is through a deposit system. So, and in Quebec, we don't have one on glass bottle. So,
Karel, I just want to point out what you just said there is it's so outrageous.
Yeah.
The company is in Pointe Saint Charles, and they bring in the glass from other parts of North America.
Yes.
That have the deposit system,
exactly.
And it would be much better for the environment if they were taking the glass from down the street. Right?
And we collect the glass through the curbside collection, through the blue or green bin, and it goes. Most of it goes to the landfill. So it's a nonsense, as you said. It has been like that for years, and I don't know why we do not go forward to the curbside, not the curbside, but the deposit system faster, because it is the solution. The glass is recyclable into glass, but it has to be collected without other material, because it contaminates itself with material like ceramics, pottery, and rocks, bricks that people put in their curbside collection, unfortunately. And the glass with this kind of material cannot be recycled into glass. So that's why it is used as sandblast or landfill recovery. Most of the glass in Quebec goes to the landfill. It is not just in Montreal, but anywhere in Quebec it is the same situation.
So for you, just to wrap up here, Karel, for you, the solution is get the deposit system rolling on these containers, on glass bottles, and that would solve this issue.
Yeah, it will not solve all the problem, because you will still have jam containers in glass or pickle containers in glass.
Yeah.
But you have in about 140 municipalities in Quebec containers where you can put on a voluntary basis this kind of containers, and glass bottle as well, wine bottle, in order for them to be recycled. They go to conditioner, and then they go to Owens, Illinois in Montreal, and they're recycled into glass. But if you put the glass into the curbside collection, you're sure that your glass won't be recycled into glass. In the best case, they will be used as sandblast, but even there, a part will be contamination with this glass will go to the landfill.
All right, Karel, we have to leave it there. Thanks so much for coming on. Great talking to you.
Okay, merci, bye.
That's Karel Menard, General Director of the Quebec Common Front for Ecological Waste Management.